Hello, today we're going to do another lesson on net force calculations. This time it'll be a little more complicated because we'll be combining more than just two forces that are acting on an object. We'll do 3 and 4 forces. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that and figure out the net force and whether or not they're balanced or unbalanced. So in our first problem, problem number 3 here, we've got 2 pushing forces on this side of the object and 1 pushing force on that side of the object. So over here, what you're going to do is you're going to take these 2 forces and we're going to combine them because they're both acting on the box in the same direction, in the same way, okay? So we're going to take the 3 newtons and the 2 newtons and we're going to get 5 newtons of a force going in that direction. And then on this side of the box, we have 5 newtons. There's only 1 force that's pushing in this direction. So we have 5 newtons going in that direction on that side of the box. So our overall net force is going to be 0. It's going to equal 0 because 5 and 5 are the same number and they're going in opposite directions, so they cancel each other out. And this is what we call a balanced force because this side balances this side, they're the same. So whenever you have a net force of 0, you can also call them a balanced force, and you could also say that there's no movement because they're both pushing on the box equally, so it's not going to go anywhere. So these are balanced forces, and there's no movement. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next problem. In this problem, we've got 4 forces acting on the box. We've got 2 forces pulling in this direction and 2 forces pulling in that direction. If I add up all the forces that are going in that direction on the box, now they could be a pulling force on this side and a pushing force on this side, but I've done it, they're both pulling forces on both sides just to make it easier for now. So here we have 6 newtons and 2 newtons. We're going to combine those 2 together because they're both pulling in that direction. So we're going to have 8 newtons, that is pulling in that direction, and then on the other side of the box we've got 7 newtons pulling in that direction, or 7 newtons in that direction. So what we're going to have overall is a net force of 1 newton, and it's going in that direction because the 8 is larger than the 7. So when you find the difference of those 2 numbers, this number is larger, so it's going to have a net force in that direction. So these are unbalanced forces, and they're going to have a movement is going to be to the left. Okay? If you have any questions about these calculations, feel free to give me a message on Teams or an email. I'm happy to try to explain them a little more. I'm going to do one more video with 2 more problems, and they're going to be even a little more complicated than this. But by watching the videos over a couple times, you might see what you're missing. And there's also a worksheet that's going to, it's called the net force calculation worksheet that will go along with all this. All right. If you have any questions, please email me. Thanks a lot.